Hey guys, Trey and Lee Morgan here. Welcome to the Stronger Marriage Podcast.
Welcome back to us, I guess. It's been 3 weeks. We said we were going to go every other week. We were having grandbaby last week. We thought we would have some time to get a podcast episode done, and it just didn't happen.
And we apologize.
It just didn't happen.
We will do better.
Yes.
We will do better. Thank you. We are honored that you show up. We are honored that you're patient with us. We are honored that you listen to our podcast. Thank you for doing that.
Absolutely.
And today we're going to talk about 10 things wives want from their husbands. In 2 weeks, we'll swap that list and we'll do 10 things that husbands want from their wives.
Yes.
And these are generally majority things that most all wives love.
10 things most wives want, 10 things most husbands want. We speak to the majority, but honestly, when I look at this list, I feel like at some point in time, every one of these would be important to me. Some may be higher on the list than others, but I think it's safe to say most wives. There may be one on here that you go, that's not anything I want from my husband at all, and that's fine. But we're gonna throw out 10 things that we feel like most wives at some point or another will appreciate and want from their husbands.
Yes, and one of the best things you can do is talk about these things. Write this little list down. We'll put them in the notes in this section, but write this little list down and tell your spouse, hey, listen to this. Maybe ask your spouse, if you're a husband, go, what are your favorite ones on here? What could I do better with? I like to do that. Which are your favorite 3 and which ones could I do better with? Yeah. But it's always good to kind of check in and go, hey, what are these? Which ones of these do I really need to put out some effort on that I may need to do better?
Because 10 can be overwhelming. Of course, we want you to, step up your game on all 10. But we realize, 10 can be an overwhelming number. So find out, what 3 or so can I really be working on right now?
And you may be knocking all of these out of the park,
sure,
which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's talk about these. 10 things wives want from their husbands. Number 1.
They want to feel loved and appreciated.
Ooh, is there a difference between love and appreciated?
Well, I think there really is. And we probably could have done this separately, but we threw these together. Wives want to feel loved. They do. And in order to feel loved, they need to hear you say, I love you. Yes, the words are important, but they need to see some action from you. They need to see how you love them. And I think the rest of this list really is going to be ways that you can show your wife love. But let's focus more on the appreciation part of this.
Yeah.
They want to feel appreciated. There are so many things that wives do. There's a lot of things that husbands do that we can sometimes take for granted. If that's like, I do all the laundry in our house. I have fired Trey from doing the laundry. I think we've talked about that before. When they kind of ruin a load of laundry, you just fire them.
This was early in marriage.
And they no longer get to do the laundry. But it's something I enjoy doing. I don't mind doing laundry. I just do it. But he always tells me thank you, that he appreciates that I do the laundry. And so that's kind of where we're getting at. If your wife always does, something in your house, maybe she's the one that gets the kids up in the mornings and gets them ready for school, whatever it is, tell her how much you appreciate her for doing that. If she's the one that always cooks the meals and always does the grocery shopping, tell her how much you appreciate her doing that. Our culture kind of has gender specific ideas about, what men do and what women do. And it goes back to the very beginning of time. Women cook, clean, do the laundry, take care of the kids, all those things. Men work and they do the yards and they do they take care of the cars and they, all that stuff. Those are gender specific roles that I think to a degree we still somewhat follow. Now, I think with both people working outside the home these days, those roles are crossing a lot, which is great, and they should, because, everybody should be helping with everything. But I know, in our house, I love for Trey to take care of the cars. I love for him to mow the grass. I'm happy for him to take out the trash. Those are not things that I specifically want to do. I would much rather do the laundry than do those things. And so we're happy. We're fine with those roles.
We've got our spots.
But that's where you need to talk about. But our point here is make your spouse feel appreciated for whatever it is that they do on a consistent basis that you don't necessarily pitch in with.
Yeah, husbands, maybe you've got up and gone to work for the last 10 years and your wife every morning gets up and packs lunches for the kids. Make sure you regularly tell her how much you appreciate the effort she puts in. Don't just say, well, that's her job, she's always done it. Let her know, I appreciate you. Thank you for doing that. Maybe she's the one that runs the kids to all the practices. Maybe she's the coach. Just make sure your spouse knows, your wife knows how much you appreciate the things she does on a regular basis that are just kind of her things. And that's a good thing.
It is. Another thing that wives want from their husbands is to be understood.
Yeah, to take an effort to understand them. And we know all the jokes about the men who they'll never understand their wives, and top 10 things that men understand about women, and all 10 are blank. And so, but put out an effort, meaning there are going to be times where your wife may just go, hey, but I like it this way. Instead of you going, well, you're a woman, take a moment to try to understand her. Yes, you and your wife are very different. Lee and I are very different, but we take an effort to try to understand one another. It's not just that's you and you're different and I don't like what you like and we're just going to ignore one another's opinions. Take an effort to understand your wife.
Yes, and that is going to require some communication and some talking, and that kind of leads into the next point, which is wives want your attention. They want your attention. They need you every once in a while to put down the device, to turn off the TV, to whatever it is.
Unplug the video game.
Give them your undivided attention every once in a while.
You kind of think that you can look at your phone or look at a video game and listen to what they're saying at the same time, but you really can't, and that's really hard to do, and I can't do that, although sometimes I think I can. And we've stated this before, 4 minutes a day is the average amount of time men and women have, husbands and wives have, that they have face-to-face communication. And that's not enough. That's why the divorce rate is as high as it is. You've got to have some quality time. And just sitting in the same room watching a movie together, while that's hanging out and that's having fun, that's not always your attention. So when your wife speaks, listen to what she's saying. Ask questions.
She wants to be heard, but she also wants you to talk to her. She wants to hear what you have to say and how your day went and what you're thinking and what you're feeling. And that requires some vulnerability on your part. A lot of men are not comfortable with that, but wives want you to talk to them. They really they want your attention.
Yeah. You most likely did this before you married, and there's no reason you can't still be doing this. You loved having long conversations on the phone with your back then fiance where you'd just spend hours talking, and now you're like, well, what is there to talk about? You can find things to talk about. There's plenty of things.
That's right.
A third thing. Is this a third thing? Or
This giving attention leads right into the fourth thing, which is wives want to go on dates.
That's it.
They want you to take them on dates.
It shouldn't end when you get married.
You did that. That's right. You did that before marriage. Don't stop. We cannot overstress how important dating is after you're married, because that is when you can give your undivided attention. That is when you can talk to each other. That is when you can, tell your spouse you love them and appreciate them for all the things they do, because you've got that one-on-one time. This is really the only time that not the only time, but it's an important time that you can have just one-on-one, where you can focus on each other without distractions.
And husbands, this is your job. This is your duty. You were the one before marriage that said, I'll plan the date. You just be ready. Are you free Friday night? Let's go do something. You were the one that instigated the whole thing and planned the date. And once you're married, sometimes you step back and go, well, if she just tell me what night we're going, I'll get ready and go. You plan the date. You put out the effort to just say, hey, I've got the date planned, not telling you what we're doing. Have one of those dates. I've done that to you recently. I said, hey, be ready. We're leaving. You don't need a change of clothes, but you will need shoes that you can walk around in. And you had no clue what we were doing all day long. And we had a day date where we went and spent time running around, and it was a lot of fun.
You had already picked out
restaurants,
our restaurant.
Movies,
you picked a movie out for us to go see. You picked out several places that we went to.
Yep.
And we spent the whole day, and it was great.
There was not one time where we said, well, I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know what you want to do. Just plan it.
Right.
Plan it.
Yes.
Take her on a date. That's what she wants. Number 5, she wants you to be affectionate.
Yes.
And affection can be many different things to women. Probably the things you did before marriage, and maybe you still do those some, are the things, whatever those were, are the things that she probably still likes. Occasional flowers. She will love flowers on Valentine's Day. She will really love flowers for no reason at all day. Like just a random day during the week. I was thinking about you and here's some flowers. We saw a guy in Pasadena, Texas, Houston suburb, recently on the median at a stoplight selling flowers. And I thought, how easy would it be for husbands to just say, give me a bouquet of flowers I can take home to my wife. Boy, they make it so easy. That's affectionate to your wife. Send her a sweet text during the day while she's at work and you're at work. Just say, hey, I was just thinking about you and how much I appreciate you. Go back to number 1, how much I appreciate you and everything you do for us. Maybe leave her a note, a sweet note. Hold her hand. Wives like to cuddle. Those are just things your wife probably likes.
Yes. Yeah. Affection it can include so many things. You need to figure out, what it is that your wife likes as far as affection goes. If you hopefully, and we stress this over and over, we hope you know your spouse's love language, because that's probably going to be their favorite way for you to show them affection is to speak their love language, whether it's touch, acts of service, words of affirmation, little gifts. And I'm missing one.
Oh, I don't know.
Always do that. Quality time.
Boom.
Spending time with them. Speak your spouse's love language through affection.
Yeah, that's right. And if you don't know, ask her.
Yes.
Ask her. What are some things I could do?
Affection?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6. What is number 6?
They want help with daily tasks.
So if she's the one that does the lunches all the time, take a morning to go, hey, I'll do lunches.
Yeah, let me do the lunches.
I'll vacuum the floor. I'll run the errand to the grocery store. So help take some stress off of her. Do something she doesn't like to do and serve her some way, especially if her love language is acts of service.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, help. Hopefully y'all have this figured out. If you both work outside the home, really, husbands, I know you're tired when you come home from work and you probably need a little minute, but so does she. And usually women don't get a lot of those little moments to sit because the kids have a million things they need, homework and practices, and she's got to get supper. And so hopefully y'all have figured out, I'll do supper, you take the kid to practice and those kinds of things. And because a lot of, we know too many women that do all of that.
Yeah.
And they really need some help.
Help her with some daily tasks.
Yes.
Number 7. I love this one, and I think it's so good. And we were reminded of this at a recent workshop. Go ahead and tell us what number 7 is.
They want you, husbands, to take care of your body.
Yeah. And I had a lady tell us, we were talking about what are things that your spouse does that you consider to be romantic. And we had a lady that told us, said, when my husband takes care of his body, I find that romantic because it means that he is in for the long haul, that he loves us, not just me. He loves us, because if he's not healthy, then it means we're not very healthy. And I want to be married to my wife. I want to have a long marriage. And if I'm not healthy, that may not be the case. And that means watching my weight, watching my blood pressures and my diabetes and whatever it is that you may have. But take care of your body. That is just, it's amazing how many wives say, I love when my husband takes care of his body.
Yes. And it's hard. Sometimes it requires some pretty big lifestyle changes. You got to throw some exercise in there. You got to really kind of watch what you're eating, what you're putting into your body. But when you make those changes, it's amazing, what that will do for your health, for your relationships. You feel better. You're able to go, have fun with each other. Don't put physical limits on yourself just because you're not willing to make a few little
lifestyle changes.
Lifestyle changes
Good point.
to better your health.
I'll throw this out because I'm a man and I can speak to the men who are listening. When's the last time you've been to the doctor for a good physical? That ought to be a yearly activity. I do this every year. Mm-hmm. Mine's coming up in May. Every year I go in for a physical where my doc checks me over and does blood work, does everything just to make sure that it's preventative. It finds anything early. He kind of goes, hey, your cholesterol's getting up there. We need you to kind of watch how many eggs you're eating, whatever it is. But that is a healthy thing to do, to stay on top of stuff instead of waiting until your doctor goes, uh-oh, this ain't good.
Or instead of dropping dead of a heart attack, which we've known of men to do. I mean, they did not go to the doctor for 60 years and literally dropped dead of a heart attack because they never went to the doctor. And that is a sad thing. Don't do that to your spouse. Take care of yourself. Go for yearly checkups. It's not unmanly to go to the doctor. It tells your spouse, I care about you. That's why I'm going to go to the doctor and take care of myself.
Right.
So don't be macho and say, I don't go to the doctor. I don't need to go to the doctor. Sometimes you do.
That's right. It means that you love your wife
yes.
and she's interested in that. So,
yes.
So that's one of the things. We're down to the last three. Give us number 8.
Wives want protection.
Tell me what
they
that
love
means.
it.
Lock the doors at night?
Protect them. Yes. We went on a trip. I don't even know if we were doing a workshop or whatever, but we'd unloaded the car, taken everything up to our hotel room. I think I left something in the car, and I said, I got to go run get such and such I left in the car. And you said, you're not going to go do that. I will go get that out of the car, just simply because you did not want me walking, through hotel hallways and out to the parking lot. I think it might have already been getting dark. I don't know. I didn't think anything about it. I didn't want to ask you to go do that because I carelessly left something in the car that I needed. But you stepped up and said, nuh-uh, I'm going to go do that. And that was your way of protecting me.
Yeah. And maybe I may be a little overprotective sometimes, but I feel like that's anything that's very valuable to me, which you are. I'm going to do everything in my powers to protect it. Now, that may not mean just, hey, making sure your wife is safe. That could mean it's pouring rain and you drive your wife all the way up to the door of wherever you're going and get her as close as possible so she doesn't get wet.
Yeah,
that is just
small
simple.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to protect you and we're not going to run across a wet parking lot. I'm going to drop you at the door. And so that's things that you do as a husband to show your wife, I love you, I am protecting you, you are valuable to me. Another way, if I can throw this out there, the way your children talk to your wife, if they get a little rude or a little mouthy, as a dad and a husband, you should be going, no, we're not going to talk to her like that. You should protect your spouse. You should have your spouse's back from family, from parents, you just go down the list. That's, you two are one. You protect your spouse. That's what you do.
Yes. Well said. Number 9, wives want you to include them sexually.
Okay. Tell us what this means.
Don't be selfish.
Don't make it all about
Don't make it all about you. It should be mutually enjoyable for both of you. And this is going to require some communication, again, from both of you. But don't just assume, if your wife, maybe this isn't at the top of her needs list, maybe she's not super interested in sex, don't just assume that, she doesn't want
to be fulfilled.
I'm looking for the right words there.
There you go.
But yes, you make sure that you're both enjoying it.
Yeah.
Don't be selfish.
So ask some questions. This is a podcast. We can talk about things like this. Ask your wife, does this feel good? Did you like that? And maybe, and I've learned in 33 years of marriage, something that my wife liked one time that felt good she may not be crazy about or feel good the next time. And so sometimes it's a constant way to communicate, but don't be afraid to ask, did you like this? Does this feel good? What could we do different to make this better? How could we educate yourself? Find a book. If you're going, hey, I have not been able to get my wife to have an orgasm. Find a book. Educate yourself on how things work, how the female anatomy works, what the clitoris is. You just go down those lists of things that are out there that you can go in from a Christian standpoint and shouldn't be something that embarrasses you and go, here's what we want to try. This may help. But educate yourself instead of just saying, hey, this is all about me and thanks for being a participant,
Yes.
And so don't be selfish sexually. Make sure your spouse is enjoying it as well.
Last one?
Yep.
All right. Your wife wants to have fun.
Oh, yes. You
wants to have fun.
had fun dating and doing things before you got married, and she still wants to have fun. And that may mean taking a trip. That may mean, of course, a day date, an overnight date. Go somewhere, go to a concert, go play putt-putt, go bowling. We went bowling the other day.
We did.
We don't bowl.
did.
And you could tell from our scores. We don't bowl.
You're right. But yeah, every once in a while, just do something spontaneous, unexpected. On your dates, maybe your next few dates, do something that you haven't done before or that you haven't done in a long time. Don't just do the same old, let's go to dinner and a movie.
Go play putt-putt.
Go do something different. Go do something fun.
Yeah, go try something different. Go play. I want to go to play Top Golf sometime. I don't even know if you can hit a golf ball with a. I really don't. It's gonna be fun. I don't know how well I can. It's been years since I played golf.
Yeah.
But I think it would be fun to go try.
Yes.
Yeah, and so go have some fun together. Marriage should be fun. It's not all about raising kids and paying bills and maintaining the house and that sort of thing. Go have some fun. Yeah, if you're having fun when your kids are at home, you're going to be having fun when they leave too.
Yes.
It'll be healthy for you. Those are 10 things that wives would really like from their husbands. And I hope we've challenged you, we've encouraged you, maybe given you a couple of things to think about, maybe a couple of ideas to try. We would always love to hear from you. If you get a chance to drop us a note, drop us an email. You can find it on our website. Tell us what you like, what maybe a topic you'd like covered on a podcast sometime.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. In 2 weeks, we'll cover 10 things husbands want from their wives, and that will be fun.
Yes.
Yeah. Can I tell you 2 things we've got coming up?
Yes.
We're going to Ella, Georgia. If you're in the Georgia area, come hang out with us. That workshop's coming up really, really quick. It'll be the last weekend of this month. And then we are headed to Tennessee, Knoxville in May on the 13th and 14th. And come hang out with us in Knoxville. And so those are both coming up. They're going to be fun. We are trying to find online a schedule that fits us to where we can do another maybe online date night that many of you have requested. Those are always fun as well. But check the website. Thanks for following us on social media, and always thanks for listening to us on this podcast.
Yes. We will see you in 2 weeks.
We hope.
We will.
We will. Bye-bye.
Bye.